Yeah, obviously, it's always good to be home. There's no place like home, as they say. And I felt like, we came out with a lot of energy, excited to get back home and play. And I felt like we played as a team this first period. I was really happy with our defensive effort. I think overall, we too many turnovers still. And so we got to clean that up. But I felt like we just really came out and played with a lot of energy from opening tip, and it was just good to kind of get back and have some of those players back that we kind of had missed at the last game, and to come out and compete at home.
Talk about Deasia first career double-double.
It's funny. I've been talking to people, and I've been telling her that Deasia, she's really she stepped up, and probably about 3 weeks ago, she sent me a text, and I'll share this, and she told me, she said, Coach, I know I haven't been doing everything that I need to do, and I commit that no more. I'm going to be the player that I'm supposed to be and I'm capable of being. And I told the team a couple of weeks ago, you've been able to see it in her attitude and just her work ethic. And when you put that kind of extra work in, I always tell the kids, the result will follow. And I think that's what we're seeing now is the results. I mean, she was out there today before shoot-around. She was probably there an hour early, getting up free throw shots, getting shots up, working on the game. And it's a direct correlation. If you do the work and you have the kind of talent that she has and the other players have on this team, you'll start seeing benefits. So I'm really happy and proud for her, because I know this is something that she's been wanting to do, and she's doing the work to have it. So really excited about it.
Deasia, can you follow up on that?
Yeah, really just what Coach Hill, I'm going to just elaborate what he just said. Like, I've just been working very hard, not just like basketball, but just outside of basketball. I feel like that's been helping me a lot. And, I take pride in a lot of things that I do. So just doing the extra work, coming in, getting extra shots up, that's been motivating me, helping me, and it's just been making me better. So, yeah.
Talk about some of the success you guys had on offense. You had some nice high-low plays and things like that you were able to score, both ends up.
Yeah, really, I wouldn't say like all week, but we've been practicing on that lately in practice, and we've really been on our post players to look for it, be patient, and just trying to finish, go up against the defense. So in the game, it was just it was good to get those plays and to score. So because we've been working on it for so long. So yeah.
Coach, just talk about the resilience your team is kind of showing here to get through the stretch with some shorthanded.
Well, obviously everyone's dealing with something. It's part of the game. But we tell our players all the time it's part of the process. Not to get too high, not to get too low, and obviously we would love to have the kids all out there who's kind of on the sideline now injured. We had two we're missing today who actually had surgeries today, and we send well wishes to them and prayers, and everything was successful. I talked to their families, but we talked about it. You just got to keep fighting. You just got to keep going. It's the next player up mentality, and everyone has to be willing to do their job, because you never know when your opportunity is going to come, and you have to be prepared for it. And I think right now everyone is buying into that. We've had to shift some kids' positions. One day we tell them that you're playing this position, and then the next day you may be playing another position because of injuries or illness or whatever that is, and that's just part of it. But the one thing that I will say is it's been refreshing this year, because they've allowed me to be able to do that, and they're not fighting me on that. Well, Coach, I'm not that position and everything. They've been willing to do whatever it takes to be successful. And as I told them, we're just at the beginning of this. We got a long way to go, and we got to continue the process and continue to work. But I like how we're fighting. I like how we're fighting, and we're not quitting at any time.
Coming off a tough stretch on the road, how important was it to jump out to a quick lead today and then really put your foot on the gas as to go ahead?
Well, with the exception of the Georgia Tech game, we've had good starts. it's been the second halves and everything. So it was refreshing to have a good start. Obviously, you always want to have a good start. But the one thing I told them at halftime is not to stay in the locker room. We've had some games at Florida State, where I felt like we walked out and our bodies walked out, but our minds and our spirit and our souls and all those things were still in the locker room. And I made that comment to them. Let's not play the score. Let's come out and play and compete for 20 more minutes. And I felt like the third period we came out and did those things, and we tried to execute some things that maybe we hadn't really worked on in practice. We talked about, but we hadn't really done them a lot. And so I told him, I said, hey, here's our opportunity to work on those things now. We're not just out here playing. Hey, if you can do these things now, that's less things we have to work on in practice tomorrow and stuff. So I think that also was a motivating factor for him.
Well, more players to highlight. Nyla had a career high 14 points, and then Zay with their first double-double. What can you say about them and their efforts today?
Well, and DH could tell you, I same thing. I called Nyla out probably about 2 or 3 weeks old, also in front of the team, and told her that I know she could play better than she's been playing, and we believe in her, and we need her, and I think she's been responding and putting in the work also, and this is what we expect of her, because she's really a good player, and she just comes with a lot of energy every day, and so it's exciting to see her do these things, but hopefully this can be a jumping board for her. And Zay, as I've said and everyone knows, Zay has a ton of talent, but she's still learning. She's a freshman and she's still figuring things out, but this is the kind of talent she has in her learning process. She's capable of having a double-double, but now the next step for her is to do it when people know who you are. That's how you become great, when people are game planning against you, people are targeting you and things like that, and that's the next level for her, and so hopefully she'll grow into that also.
Yourself had a pretty good shooting performance today. 20 for 52, 53% from the field, but more importantly, 9 for 17 in from the field. I know the three-point shooting isn't really any part of the team game plan this year, but how huge was that for the team to shoot so well tonight?
Well, I think obviously we're excited to make 9 threes, but one of the things we've been emphasizing is that we don't want to just fire up threes. We want to go inside out, and I felt like we took great shots, and that's why we was able to make them. We talked about we do shot quality scores after each game, and obviously our lowest shot quality score was versus FAM, and it's a direct correlation to how we played and everything, and how we shot. I would think once we calculate tonight, the score is going to be pretty high, with the exception of the turnovers that are a factor into it. Obviously happy that we was able to knock down shots, but I think when you take great shots and you've done the work, you're going to have good percentages.